The sight sent shivers down her spine. A crimson-soaked sack, handled with eerie precision by Elias, the butcher. In the sleepy coastal village of Brinehaven, Elias Marrow's butcher shop, Marrow's Meats, was a local legend. His cuts were impossibly tender, his prices absurdly low. Visitors flocked from neighboring towns, drawn by the allure of his mysterious supply. But whispers crept through Brinehaven's cobblestone streets. How could Elias offer such deals when markets everywhere were struggling? One foggy evening, a librarian named Nora wandered into Marrow's Meats. Her gut churned with unease as she watched Elias slice through a slab of meat with surgical precision. His eyes flicked to a rusted metal door at the back of the shop, sealed with a heavy padlock. Nora left, her mind buzzing with suspicion. On her way home, a figure in a tattered coat stepped from the shadows. "Stay clear of Elias," they rasped, voice low and urgent. "His meat, it's not what you think." Before Nora could respond, the stranger melted into the fog. Nora's unease grew. Elias's shop stayed open past midnight, and unmarked vans rolled in at odd hours. A dock worker named Sam, who often delivered crates to the shop, noticed something chilling. Instead of unloading supplies, Elias hauled strange, dripping bags into the locked back room. Sam, curiosity piqued, lingered one night to watch. What he saw froze him, a blood-streaked sack, handled with a care that felt wrong. Determined to uncover the truth, Nora dug into Elias's past. Oddly, no records of him existed before he arrived in Brinehaven 3 years ago. She returned to the shop, posing as a curious customer. As she chatted with Elias, his answers were vague, his smile too tight. When she asked about his suppliers, he deflected with a laugh, steering the conversation elsewhere. At the village's only clinic, Nora overheard a janitor mention Elias's late-night visits to the basement morgue. Her stomach dropped. Could his cheap meat be tied to the dead? Nora enlisted her friend Lila, a freelance photographer, to help investigate. They staked out the clinic one stormy night, watching as Elias slipped through a side entrance with a man named Victor, the morgue's night watchman. Lila snapped photos as Elias loaded a heavy black bag into his van. It wasn't proof, but it was enough to fuel Nora's suspicions. She needed to get inside that morgue. Posing as a researcher, Nora gained daytime access to the clinic's basement. She pressed Victor with questions about Elias. His face paled, his hands fidgeting as he mumbled excuses. Nora noticed gaps in the morgue's logs. Bodies marked as transferred had no documentation. Something was terribly wrong. Back at his shop, Elias grew restless. Customers were asking pointed questions, and Nora's frequent visits unnerved him. He met Victor in secret, slipping him a stack of cash for continued access to the morgue. "Keep your mouth shut," Elias warned. "If this gets out, we're both finished." Victor nodded, but guilt gnawed at him. One morning, Nora received an anonymous note. "You're digging too deep. Stop, or you'll regret it." The word sent a chill through her, but she pressed on. With Lila's help, they followed Elias one night as he drove to a remote cliffside. He buried something in the sand. Nora and Lila crept closer, but Elias spotted them. A tense chase ensued through the winding coastal roads. Elias escaped, but Nora unearthed what he'd buried, bones, unmistakably human. Lila urged her to go to the police, but Nora hesitated. Without direct evidence tying Elias to the morgue, it wouldn't stick. Nora confronted Victor at the clinic. Cornered, he broke down, confessing to selling unclaimed bodies to Elias for cash. "I was desperate," he sobbed, "but I didn't know he'd process them." Fearing Victor might crack, Elias sent him a threatening message: "Talk, and you're dead." Meanwhile, Nora's home was ransacked. No theft, just a clear warning. Nora and Lila devised a plan to trap Elias. They lured him to the clinic with a fake delivery, hoping to catch him red-handed. Lila hid with her camera, ready to record. Elias arrived, but he sensed the setup. In a flash, he grabbed Victor, using him as a shield. "You can't stop this," he snarled, before slipping away into the night. The footage was shaky, unusable in court. Victor, trembling, revealed Elias's routine. "He'll be at the shop covering his tracks," he said. Nora, Lila, and Victor stormed Marrow's Meats. Inside, Elias was frantically shredding papers. Nora confronted him, but he lunged. Lila tackled him, giving Victor time to bar the door. The police, tipped off by Nora, swarmed the shop. Elias was cuffed, still spitting defiance. "This isn't over," he hissed at Nora. The police opened the back room's freezer, revealing neatly packed human remains. As Elias was dragged away, Nora pressed Victor. What did he mean? This isn't over. Victor's voice shook. He wasn't alone. There's a network, powerful people bigger than Brinehaven. The investigation widened. The police uncovered ties to clinics, crematoriums, and even shipping companies. Elias had been a small player in a sprawling black market trade. Nora sat in her small apartment, piecing together the puzzle. The danger wasn't over. Someone was pulling the strings, and they'd come for her next. The story broke nationally, sparking outrage. Nora and Lila kept digging, uncovering names, doctors, council members, even a shipping magnate linked to an organ trafficking ring. One night, Lila called Nora in a panic. "I found documents. It's worse than we thought. A global network." Before she could say more, the line went dead. Nora rushed to Lila's studio, finding it trashed. A note lay on the desk. "You're next." Her heart raced. This was no longer just about Elias. Nora contacted a trusted reporter, Maya, at a major news outlet. They planned a staggered release of evidence, leaking it online to protect it from being buried. The first leak went viral, exposing Elias's ties to elite figures. Protests erupted, but Nora knew the network would retaliate. Victor vanished, leaving only a cryptic message. "They're everywhere." A chilling video arrived, anonymously sent. It showed Victor, bound and terrified, with a voice warning, "End this now, or he's gone." Nora's resolve hardened. She and Maya rallied a team of journalists and rogue detectives, determined to dismantle the syndicate. The evidence pointed to a shadowy figure, a reclusive tycoon funding the operation. As they prepared the final exposé, Nora's apartment was raided. She and Maya escaped with the files, racing to a safe house. The network was closing in. In a desperate move, Nora uploaded everything, names, documents, proof, to a global server. The story exploded online, crashing servers with its reach. The world demanded justice, but the network fought back, silencing sources and bribing officials. Nora knew they'd never stop hunting her. Hiding in a safe house, Nora and Maya watched the chaos unfold. "We did it," Maya whispered. Nora nodded, but her eyes were grim. "This is just the start." The battle was far from over. The network was wounded but not dead. Nora knew she'd spend her life running or fighting. For now, the truth was out, and the world was watching.